Virgo, they are finally breaking their silence, and the apology they're about to give you is going to completely shatter your expectations. You saw the title, you felt that pull in your chest, and yes, this is exactly for you. But here is the twist they aren't telling you. This isn't just a simple "I'm sorry." Spirit is showing me that their realization of what they lost hit them so hard, they've been completely unraveling behind the scenes. They didn't just miss you, they realized they made a massive karmic mistake, and the universe is forcing their hand right now. Before we dive into this massive energy shift, tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and make sure you like and subscribe to claim this beautiful reconciliation energy. Let's get into it. Virgo, listen to me, because the energy around you this September is absolutely electric, and I need you to really absorb what I'm about to say. Something massive has shifted in the spiritual realm regarding this specific connection, and honestly, it's entirely because you finally stopped carrying the weight of it. You pulled back. You detached. You stopped trying to fix what was broken, and you stopped chasing someone who was running away. That exact moment of surrender? That's what triggered everything. I'm not gonna lie, when you stepped back into your own power and chose your own peace, the energetic cord between you two didn't snap, it pulled taut. And now, they're feeling every single vibration of your absence. I know how incredibly heavy this has been for you, my dear. Spirit is showing me just how much you carried in this dynamic. You were the one overanalyzing, overgiving, and trying to build a solid, reliable foundation while they were acting like they didn't even know how to hold a single brick. You gave them real loyalty, Virgo. You gave them endless patience when they were chaotic, and you offered them a beautifully safe space when they were running from their own shadows. But instead of valuing that profound effort, they took it for granted. They misunderstood your deep, analytical, and devoted love as something they could just put on a shelf and come back to whenever it suited their convenience. It hurts, I know. You felt so unseen and unappreciated in your efforts. And, the hardest part was watching them choose their own ego over your heart, time and time again. You tried to communicate, you tried to gently explain your boundaries, but it was like talking to a brick wall. They made you feel like your needs were too much, like your desire for emotional safety and consistency was somehow a burden to them. So, you did the only thing a self-respecting, deeply intuitive Virgo could do. You went silent. You withdrew your beautiful, nurturing energy, and you focused entirely on healing yourself and protecting your peace. But here is where the universe steps in, and this is where it gets really interesting. When you went quiet, they initially thought they won. They thought, oh, they'll be back, they always come back. But days turned into weeks, and the silence you left behind didn't just fade into the background, it became a mirror. Without your light reflecting on them, they were forced to look at their own darkness. The absence of your energy became deafening. They started realizing that the peace you brought to their life wasn't just a permanent fixture, it was a rare gift they completely mishandled. And while they were sitting in that uncomfortable, heavy realization, you were glowing up, Virgo. Seriously, your aura right now is it's magnetic. You've become so much more private, so deeply grounded. You aren't broadcasting your pain or your healing journey to the world anymore. You're quietly transmuting it. People around you can feel this massive shift. You walk into a room and there's this quiet, mysterious confidence about you. You've elevated your standards, you've reconnected with your spiritual path, and honestly, you look and feel absolutely radiant. And this is exactly what's driving them. Completely crazy. They are watching you from afar, and they are deeply intimidated. They see that you aren't waiting around for them to figure their life out. They see that your life is beautiful, your spirit is high, and you don't need them to complete you. That realization hits their ego right where it hurts, but it also awakens a deep, profound, almost painful longing in their soul. They are realizing that they didn't just lose a partner, they lost their anchor, their safe haven, and their best friend. Spirit is pulling the energy of the tower reversed right now for them. This is that internal, quiet crumbling. They are going through a massive internal awakening because the foundation they tried to build without you is collapsing. They thought they could handle life on their own terms, But the universe is showing them that without your grounded Virgo energy, everything feels chaotic and empty. And then I'm seeing the star card for you. You are in your ultimate healing era. You are the star they are wishing upon right now. They are looking at your energy like it's this divine, untouchable light, and they feel so far beneath it because of how they treated you. They are literally obsessed with checking your energy. Maybe they are looking at your social media, or maybe they just feel you energetically when they try to sleep. They can't stop thinking about you, analyzing your every move. But listen, there is some external complication here holding them back right now. I'm seeing the energy of pride and fear, maybe some gossip or third-party interference trying to validate their stubborn ego. Someone might be telling them they are better off without you, or their own fear of vulnerability is making them hesitate to reach out. But that interference is rapidly weakening. The truth of what you two share is too strong to be blocked by petty drama or their own immature fears. They know they messed up. The title of this reading is literally what their spirit is screaming right now. I never meant to hurt you. They are replaying their past actions and cringing at how they treated you. They realize now the emotional safety you provided, the unwavering loyalty, the way you just got them on a level no one else ever could. They're comparing everyone else to you, and honestly, no one is measuring up. They know they mishandled this connection, and the guilt is eating them alive. Virgo, let's talk about this observer dynamic, because it is so much heavier than you realize. When I say they are watching you, I don't just mean they're casually glancing at your social media or wondering what you're up to. Spirit is showing me a deep, almost obsessive energetic tracking. They are trying to figure out how you are doing so well without them. They see the way you've elevated your life, the way you've stopped dimming your light just to make them comfortable, and the way you've embraced your own independence. And honestly, it's intoxicating to them, but it's also terrifying. Because for the first time, they are looking at you not as someone who belongs to them, but as someone who has completely outgrown them. The emotional turn here is their sudden, crushing wave of shame. They aren't just missing you. They are deeply ashamed of how they acted when they had your full, undivided attention. They remember the times you tried to gently explain your feelings, and they dismissed you. Now, those memories are playing on a loop in their head, and it's keeping them up at night. And, this brings us to the external complications, because I know there has been some interference in this connection. Maybe it was a third party, maybe it was family drama, or maybe it was just their own stubborn, unhealed ego trying to convince them that they didn't need to settle down or be vulnerable with you. They let the noise of the outside world drown out the quiet, steady truth of your love. They might have even entertained a distraction, thinking it would give them the space they claimed they needed, or trying to prove to themselves that they could be happy without your grounding presence. But listen, the energy of that distraction is completely collapsing right now. The illusion is shattering. They are realizing that the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's just plastic. The people around them right now don't have your depth. They don't have your intuitive understanding. They don't offer that profound, grounding loyalty that you naturally provide just by being your authentic self. This realization is hitting them like a freight train. Spirit is pulling the Five of Cups energy for them right now. They are staring at the spilled cups, completely focused on what they lost, while ignoring whatever is still standing in front of them. They are in a state of profound grief over their own actions. They know they mishandled you. They know they took your consistent, reliable, detail-oriented Virgo energy for granted. And the emotional shift here is that their regret is no longer just about missing your physical presence. It's a deep, spiritual regret. They feel a karmic heaviness in their chest. They realize that by hurting you, they actually blocked their own blessings. They cut off their own supply of love and peace, and now they are spiritually starving. They are comparing every single interaction they have with anyone else to the way you made them feel, and it's making them feel incredibly empty and exposed. And this is where the future movement starts to take shape, because they can't stay in this state of regret forever. The universe is pushing them to make it right. But Virgo, I need you to understand how this communication is going to unfold, because it's not going to be a casual, low-effort text. This is going to be heavy. This is going to be raw. I'm seeing the Knight of Cups energy shifting toward them. They're finally gathering the courage to offer you their actual heart, not just the fragmented, guarded pieces they gave you before. They are drafting messages in their head, deleting them, and starting over because they are terrified of saying the wrong thing. They know that a simple, "I'm sorry," isn't going to cut it for a Virgo. They know you need to see the actual psychological shift, the actual accountability, and the genuine remorse. The emotional turn here is their sheer vulnerability and fear of rejection. They are so intimidated by your new boundaries that they are actually hesitating, not because they don't want to reach out, but because they are terrified you're going to shut the door in their face. They know they broke your trust, and they know rebuilding it is going to take time and consistent effort. But the cosmic pressure is becoming too much for them to ignore. The synchronicities are hitting them hard. They keep seeing your twin flame numbers, or your birth date, or just symbols that remind them of you everywhere they look. The universe is literally cornering them, telling them it's time to step up, own their mistakes, and apologize properly. They're getting ready to finally reach out, and when they do, it's going to be a complete confession of their feelings, their regrets, and their deep desire to make things right. Virgo, let's get into the exact energy of this incoming communication, because Spirit is showing me something so specific right now. This isn't going to be a casual, low-effort, "Hey, how are you?" text designed to test the waters. I'm not gonna lie, they've tried to draft those before, but every time they do, their spirit completely rejects it. They know that a Virgo sees right through superficial breadcrumbs. They know you require authenticity, depth, and actual accountability. So, the energy I'm picking up is the Ace of Swords combined with the Knight of Cups. This means the message they are preparing to send you is going to be a raw, unfiltered confession. It's going to cut through all the past confusion with sudden, piercing clarity, but it will be delivered with a level of emotional vulnerability they have never shown you before. And, here's the subtle emotional turn that is happening inside of them right now. Their fear of your rejection is actually being overridden by their desperate need to clear their own conscience. For weeks, maybe even months, their ego protected them. They told themselves they were fine, that they didn't need to explain their actions, that you would eventually forget the pain. But that illusion has completely collapsed. Now, the weight of their own guilt is heavier than their pride. They are realizing that they cannot move forward in their own life. They cannot find genuine peace until they look you in the eye, whether literally or through a screen, and take full, unadulterated responsibility for how they made you feel. Listen, I also need to address that external complication we talked about because it is actively dissolving. Whether it was a third party who was feeding them bad advice, family members who didn't understand your dynamic, or just the toxic gossip of people who don't know the first thing about your connection, that interference is being exposed for what it is. A distraction. Spirit is showing me that this person is finally drawing a hard line in the sand. They are silencing the outside noise because they have realized that no one else's opinion matters when it comes to the profound, soul-level bond they share with you. They are choosing you over the approval of others, and that is a massive, monumental shift in their emotional maturity. When this apology comes, and it is coming, Virgo, the timeline is accelerating. It will sound different. You won't hear any of those toxic, defensive phrases like, "I'm sorry if I hurt you," or "I'm sorry you felt that way." No, they're going to say, "I know I hurt you. I know I was selfish. I know I took your loyalty for granted, and I am so deeply sorry." They are going to acknowledge the specific ways they dismissed your needs. They are going to validate your experience. And, honestly, hearing them finally articulate the very things you've been holding in your heart for so long is going to bring you a profound sense of closure and validation. But here is where the emotional turn shifts entirely back to you, my beautiful Virgo. When this message arrives, I need you to notice how you feel. You are not going to feel that frantic, anxious, desperate need to fix it or immediately forgive them like you might have in the past. No, your energy has evolved. You are sitting in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles right now. You are grounded, you are secure, and you are observing their apology from a place of deep, quiet power. You hold all the cards. You realize that their apology is not a demand for your immediate forgiveness. It is simply them finally doing the bare minimum of what they should have done a long time ago. This is the ultimate karmic balancing, Virgo. The universe has been watching. The universe saw how you cried in the shower, how you overanalyzed every text, how you tried to pour water into a cup that had a hole in the bottom. And the universe said enough. Your withdrawal was the catalyst that forced this karmic debt to be paid. By choosing yourself, you forced them to face their own shadow. You didn't have to fight for this. Your silence did the work for you. Your dignity did the work for you. And now, the scales of justice are tipping heavily in your favor. And this brings us to a beautiful, empowering realization. You are no longer the person who will accept a half-hearted effort. You have raised your vibration, and in doing so, you have raised the standard for anyone who wants access to your energy. If they want to rebuild this, they are going to have to prove it through consistent, long-term action, not just pretty words. And the most beautiful part? You are completely at peace with that. You know your worth. You know what you bring to the table. And you are no longer afraid to walk away if the energy doesn't align with your highest good. Virgo, as we step into this final chapter of this reading, I need you to really anchor into your body and feel the absolute truth of what I'm saying. The waiting is officially over. The energetic limbo that has kept you suspended in uncertainty, constantly checking your phone or analyzing every little sign, is dissolving. The physical reality is finally catching up to the spiritual truth. Spirit is showing me the World card right now, and it is glowing with such intense, golden light. This isn't just about them coming back. This is about the beautiful, necessary completion of a massive karmic cycle. The universe didn't separate you two to punish you. It separated you to protect you, to give you the sacred space to rebuild your own foundation, and to force them to do the shadow work they so desperately needed to do. And when this person finally makes their move, and I am telling you, the timeline is accelerating rapidly, it is not going to be a frantic, chaotic reach-out born out of temporary loneliness or a momentary lapse in judgment. No, this is a calculated, deeply intentional bridge-building effort. They are coming to you with an actual offering. I'm seeing them wanting to sit down, look you in the eyes, and lay out exactly how they plan to show up differently. They realize now that trust isn't just given, it has to be earned. And for a Virgo, who values consistency, reliability, and tangible proof over empty, flowery promises, they are finally bringing both to the table. They are ready to confess not just their enduring love, but their profound regret for the time they wasted, and their absolute commitment to honoring you properly this time. But listen to me closely, my dear Virgo. The most beautiful, empowering part of this entire dynamic isn't even their return. It's your reaction to it. You are no longer the person who will drop everything, abandon your own boundaries, and shrink yourself just because they finally decided to show up. Your glow-up is permanent. You have cultivated a life that is rich, fulfilling, and deeply aligned with your highest self. When they reach out, you will feel a sense of calm, detached clarity. You will listen to their words, you will acknowledge their apology, but you will also hold them to the new, elevated standard you have set. You are in the driver's seat now. You get to decide the pace, the terms, and the conditions of any reconnection. I'm not gonna lie, there might be a fleeting moment where your old, familiar Virgo anxiety tries to whisper, what if they change their mind again? What if this is just another temporary cycle? But I need you to silence that voice with the absolute, unshakable certainty of your own worth. The universe does not orchestrate this level of profound, painful awakening in someone just for them to revert to their old, immature ways. The mirror you held up was too bright, and the lesson was too deeply learned. They have tasted the bitter, hollow reality of a life without your grounding, nurturing energy, and they are never, ever going back to that darkness. They are stepping into the light, and that light is you. Spirit is wrapping this entire reading in the energy of the sun. This is the card of ultimate clarity, radiant joy, and successful outcomes after a long period of hardship. The shadows are lifting. The confusion is clearing. You are being called to step into this next phase not with fear or hesitation, but with an open, yet fiercely protected, heart. You have done the hard work. You have cried the tears, you have set the boundaries, and you have chosen yourself when it was the absolute hardest thing to do. Now, it is time to reap the beautiful harvest of that incredible self-love. So, as you move through the rest of this September, I want you to keep your head high and your energy fiercely guarded. Do not chase. Do not force. Do not lower your vibration to meet them halfway just to make them comfortable. Let them do the walking. Let them prove their transformation through consistent, unwavering action over time. You are a deeply loved, highly intuitive, and profoundly powerful soul, Virgo. You were never the problem. You are always the prize. Trust what you already feel in your gut because your intuition has been guiding you perfectly this entire time. Take a deep, grounding breath. Beautiful. You are safe, you are seen, and your reconciliation is unfolding exactly as it is meant to, in perfect divine timing. If this message resonated with your spirit, leave a claiming my peace in the comments below to anchor this high vibration energy into your reality. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a fellow Virgo who needs to hear this truth today. I am sending you so much love, light, and unwavering support. Until next time, trust your magic.